The following was written by Bat Masterson and published in Human Life magazine in May of 1907. While he never did anything to entitle him to a statue in the Hall of Fame, Doc Holliday was nevertheless a most picturesque character on the western border in those days when the pistol instead of law determined issues. Holliday was a product of the state of Georgia and a scion of a most respectable and prominent family. He graduated as a dentist from one of the medical colleges of his native state before he left it, but did not follow his profession very long after his diploma. It was perhaps too respectable a calling for him. Holliday had a mean disposition and an ungovernable temper, and under the influence of liquor was a most dangerous man. In this respect, he was very much like the big Missourian who had put in the day at the Crossroad Groggery and, after getting pretty well filled up with bug juice of the moonshine brand, concluded that it was about time for him to say something that would make an impression on his hearers. So he straightened up, threw out his chest, and declared in a loud tone of voice that he was a bad man when he was drinking and managed to keep pretty full all the time. So it was with Holliday. Physically, Doc Holliday was a weakling who could not have whipped a healthy 15-year-old boy in a go-as-you-please fistfight. And no one knew this better than himself. And the knowledge of this fact was perhaps why he was so ready to resort to a weapon of some kind whenever he got himself into difficulty. He was hot-headed and impetuous, and very much given to both drinking and quarreling, and, among men who did not fear him, was very much disliked. He possessed none of the qualities of leadership, such as those that distinguished such men as H.P. Myton, Wyatt Earp, Billy Tillman, and other famous Western characters. Holliday seemed to be absolutely unable to keep out of trouble for any great length of time. He would no sooner be out of one scrape before he was in another, and the strange part of it is he was more often in the right than in the wrong, which has rarely ever been the case with a man who is continually getting himself into trouble. It's interesting to note that even though Bat Masterson said that Doc Holliday never did anything to entitle him to a statue in the Hall of Fame, there are actually two statues of Doc Holliday. One statue of Doc is beside Wyatt Earp in Tucson, Arizona, at the location of the original Tucson Depot, where Frank Stilwell was killed by Wyatt in the company of Doc Holliday. The other statue is located in Dodge City, outside of the Boot Hill Museum. Here, Doc is seated at a card table, and visitors can sit down beside Doc and join him in a game of cards.